How are you guys doing today? I hope amazing. So today we're going to be kind of covering one of the more controversial subjects in the game. And so I'm going to be going over why a lot of you feel that you are losing money because you likely are spending PED and money while playing the game Entropia Universe. Often I do get questions sent to me on, hey, I don't understand why I'm always losing money in this game. And so today I think it would be a good subject to cover. I do understand it's a controversial subject, and in all honesty, everybody's going to have different feelings about the fact that I'm going over this. I will let you know it's worth going over, and I'd rather be honest with you guys than deceive you and be like, oh, blah, 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 you could just do this and you won't be losing money. And so let's get into it real quick so that we're not just sitting here talking the whole time. I am going to pop a pill and I'm going to consume another pill, of course, so that we can get our extra skills. And then we'll discuss it. I will let you know that I'm a long-term player of this game. I've played for a pretty significant amount of time. I have a reasonably high rank as a crafter, a lower kind of, reasonable rank as a, sorry, I'm clicking up the wrong buttons, as a hunter and stuff like that. But my rank is overall pretty good. So we're in the 40th level to 50th level in many of the things. And so overall, I have a good amount of experience in this game. I played it from multiple different directions. On top of that, in order to kind of get a better understanding of the basics of what's going on, I've watched a significant amount of other people's streams and spoken with many of the super higher ranking people. And I will let you know that the consensus is overall, and the reality overall, is that you are going to lose money playing Entropia Universe. It's not a free-to-play game. The reality is that they do want you to put more money into the game. And so if you were able to just deposit once and always get returns equal or greater than what you put in, you would never deposit again. And so I'm going to let you know that even some of the higher ranking people, and I mean super high ranking people, have let me know that they have a budget for the game. They already know that they're going to put more money in, and it is considered what they consider part of their fund budget, in which they know that they're not going to come out ahead on the average. I'm not going to tell you guys that there's no one out there that isn't statistically ahead in some capacity. I am going to tell you, for the most part, that is very unlikely. And the way statistics work is the greater number of samples that you have, the closer to the norm it will be anyway. And so over the long term of gameplay in this game, you are going to slowly cycle through whatever PED you have to the point that you're going to have to either deposit more, or you're going to have to sweat to earn PED, or, some of the other great ways of earning PED in the game. And so there are ways to play the game without dropping tons of PED in. You could go and you could find somebody that wants to hire you as a healer and will cover your degen. That does allow you to skill for free while playing and stuff like that. Once in a while, they'll get a global and maybe they kick you some kind of massive tip, in which then it's to your advantage and then you're actually coming out ahead. There's also some very skilled miners in this game, but reality-wise, even on most of the high-level mining streams I watched, the ones that actually have loot tracker programs and stuff like that, and you're welcome to watch a bunch of streams with loot trackers yourself, for the most part, they actually do lose PED. They're not coming out ahead. There are times where they have a great run and they do come out ahead. Sometimes they have a super great run and they come out actually vastly ahead. But over the long haul, it did seem like almost all the streams I watched, the people were slowly losing PED. Not gaining, but slowly losing. Now, am I saying this to bash the game? No. I'm going to let you know, in almost all the games I play, I actually do put out a specific amount of money, either in buying the game in the first place, which could be 30, 40 bucks, or cool things that you might find that you want to buy in the game and stuff, right? And so spending money on video games, especially if you're from the generation that used to go to the arcades and have to put like 25 cents in every couple minutes because you died or you want to keep playing or whatever, it's not that big of a deal. But for the people that are out there that are like, oh, I'm going to play Entropia Universe, it's a real cash link game, and one day I'm going to hit some skill level that then from then on I'm going to be making PED or money. You're actually probably not, just to be honest with you. And I'm not trying to poop on your parade or any of that stuff. I just feel that there's way too many people in this game that blow smoke up each other's butts and deliver actually a vast amount of just total bullcrap information to each other, pretending that they've got some, I figured it out. If you've really figured it out and you want to let me know how wrong I am, feel free to throw a loot tracker on your game, make a deposit, go live, and you do a live stream and you show me your consistent returns. I'd more than happily take it if you could do 5 live streams in a row in which you're not below. I mean, like, it could happen. I'm not going to disagree that some people have profound luck. But for the most part, reality is that you're going to burn a percentage of what you deposit each time you play, and you're going to need to deposit again. Now, are there ways to make PED in this? Yes. It's limiting and controlling a budget of deposits, likely trying not to deposit at all, in all honesty, and then going in and maybe buying deeds and stuff like that with the PED you earn from sweating, so you haven't contributed at all, but yet then you're drawing some PED all the time. Now, do I have passive things like that? Yes. Now, the other thing is, if you maybe invested a ridiculous amount of PED into owning a store, and then you're buying or crafting specific items and loading them into your store for them to slowly buy, you can come out slightly ahead. I mean, that's not like the worst way to do it. Hey, Avalonus, hope you're having a great day. But if you're trying to play and you're like hunting the biggest mobs that you can hunt, and you're just waiting for that day where all of a sudden you're at some kind of magical skill level that from then on you're making money in the game, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That magic skill level, for the most part, doesn't exist. I mean, it's a game that's designed... Hey, how you doing, Alec? I hope you're having a great one. The game's designed on them making a small portion of all of the revenue that circulates within it. And so, my advice to almost everybody that plays it is, play it because you're having fun. Play it because it's your entertainment. Set a reasonable budget. Don't just be like, oh, I'm going to just dump 50 bucks in every day and think that, like, by spending hundreds and thousands of dollars per year, all of a sudden you're going to start making thousands of dollars. You're just not going to do that. Could you get lucky and get an HOF? Yes, you could. Is it likely? No, it's not. And the statistics work in favor of the companies, just like in casinos and stuff like that. They have a set odds, and they know as long as the rewards that they're handing out stay within those odds, overall, they're going to win. And so if you think you're going to win the house when the odds are set by the house, you're not on the long haul. Could you have a single instance where you do great and you have a great day? Yes, and I hope that happens to all of you as much as possible. But I see way too many people saying crap that's not true, telling people like that they have this level of skill and they profit. I call bullcrap on most of that, and I'm going to let you know that my skills are pretty good. I talk to people that have super ridiculous skills, and for the most part, they all deposit money on a regular basis. If all of a sudden you just hit some skill level and from then on you're just making money, people would just rack it to that skill level and the game would become financially defunct within no time at all. And so you can have super good basic skill levels, and I know that mine aren't the highest, but I will let you know that they're reasonably good, especially for like my looter skills and stuff, and especially for my crafting skills. Now, even on crafting, for the most part, if I craft some, even with a 100% blueprint, even with the markup, I noticed that it's actually not worth it for me to craft almost everything. There are some things that, yes, I can craft and I could with the markup make money, but at that point, I'm beating the money off of other players. I'm not beating the game. I'm actually spending money. I'm just recouping it off of the markups, off of what I've made in most cases. Now, for the most part, I don't care if it's that you're mining, hunting, or crafting, you're going to spend PED. Now, can you do small things like hunt smaller mobs or swant and stuff like that to try to twist it in your favor a little bit better? Yeah, you totally can do that. If you're raw hunting, period, you're probably actually slowly losing PED. If you're hunting out of your category, you're likely fastly losing PED. If you're mining, for the most part, you're losing PED. There are certain materials that, yes, will pull you up ahead and stuff like that. For the most part, those materials are super hard to get because the materials that are easy to get, everyone can get them, and so they have no markup. And the reality is, Entropia Universe doesn't give you a full conversion of you drop a probe and you get that probe worth it back. They take a piece of the action on the cell, so you're only recovering a percentage of what you're putting in, no matter what it is. Hey Zeros, I hope you're having a great day. Hey Sir Bear, I hope you're having an amazing day. Hope your stream went well. So because you already know that you're already going to only receive a percentage of what you put in on a statistical average, no matter if it's hunting, crafting, or mining, now you're set into a position where you have to come over the market cost of bringing it to market, such as auction fees and stuff like that, plus that you're already down statistically from the start, right? So if you think about that, that then means that you're going to have so much markup in whatever you're doing to come out ahead. So can that happen? Yes, it can. Should you be playing a video game, though, that you already know statistically is designed to take a percentage of the money off the top and then off the backhand in sell, and thinking that you're probably going to make money in the game? No, you shouldn't. You should not be assuming that. Guys, I've tried to explain this many, many times, and I get feedback from people all the time letting me know, hey, you're encouraging people to do stuff that they're never going to make money on or this or that. I will be one of the first people that says that if you're playing Entropia Universe, you need to be playing Entropia Universe because you enjoy doing it, because you enjoy the social aspects of it, and never be playing a video game based on the concept that you're going to earn money in it. If it happens, I am going to clap for you. And I honestly hope that does happen for you. If you come up with a route to make money in the game, feel free to share it with me. But also know that the more people you share, hey, this is how you make money, the sooner that will change and you will not make money. So it's kind of a mixed bag, guys. I'm not trying to be mean about it. I'm not trying to dash your hopes. But I do want to be realistic because the amount of feedback that I get from people and the amount of times I've seen people gaslighting each other in this game is crazy. Play Entropia Universe to have fun. Don't play it because you think you're going to make money. And by the way, there are ways to make money in the game. The best way to make money in the game is to understand market cycles. That's super important. Like during certain events, there's items that go up vastly in value. And those items, really, yeah, you could buy them at a market point and sell them at a market point, and you could earn PED. You could also do what I've told lots of people. If you're brand new and you're still learning the game, go sweat. Go sweat about like 50 PED in stuff and buy a couple deeds. Now you're making money. You haven't put any money into the game. Slowly kind of sweat your way back up to 50 PED to buy some gear and go play. And I know sweating 100 PED doesn't sound fun. And that's why I tell people, look, focus on the fun. Like way too many. Yeah. You can see the info on somebody. You can check them on Entropia Life, just so you guys know. If you guys are ever wanting to know somebody's stuff, I'll show you where that is real quick, okay? Because in all honesty, that's important too. So I'm going to show you my amount of globals and what I've pulled in. I will also let you know that if I want to do anything big in this game, I still, at this point, I need to go in and deposit. I don't just make money hand over fist. And what I do make off of my store, I reinvest in making more products for my store at a small profit. But my store cost a considerable amount of money. And even though I make money off my store, that's a different thing. If you guys are wanting to just play this game as an entrepreneurial type person, which does work, you can actually do well on entrepreneurial type gameplay. Hold on one second. I'm going to pull myself up on the Entropia Life, because I think that that's a great way to look people up. So I'll show you what I'm talking about real quick with Entropia Life. That way you guys know where to check yourself if you guys are ever wanting to check stuff. It can be handy to look over stuff. Or if you're ever wanting to see if somebody's even telling the truth on stuff. There's a lot of people that lie about things in this game, which there's no reason to do that. It's absolutely a bad idea to lie. It's pointless, okay? So there's Donald Burndown Wilson. You can see me right here. It says my favorite mob to hunt is the Panaleon, which is likely true. My highest loot off of a Panaleon is 306 PED. So I had a pretty good global there for a Panaleon. My total loot pool is 15,908. On mining, my highest mining loot pool is 557 PED with a total loot pool of 3,337. Now, this is where we're going to get into the bigger stuff. My crafting, my highest loot was 6,900 which is pretty reasonable, I'm going to tell you guys. And my total loot from crafting is 17,011. And so if you guys are ever wanting to see your stuff, by the way, you can log in, create an account and stuff like that. You can look up other avatars this way if you guys want to. And it shows their first loots, their first globals and things like that. And so overall, yeah, so even though this is my favorite item, this 6,961 was actually off of a Kismet weapon system for a ship. And flat out, it was my highest global. By the way, even hunting in this game is more or less gambling. If you guys are going to get real with it, you buy ammo, right? Then your ammo is the kind of, your weapon and the mob is the kind of scratch ticket you're using, basically, right? Or the multiplier, whatever you want to see it as. And the random stuff on that mob is the potential reward. Statistically, 85% returns or less, right? And so if you're going to be like, so here's where you're right. Okay, Zeus points out that Vixens on RT, the gears allow you to be profitable. And I'm going to agree with you because of the markup being supplied by other players. And that's what I've said. Can you beat the casino? No, you're not. You're not beating the system. The total returns that you're getting are actually at a loss. But the value of what you're getting by hunting Vixens with the Vixen gears allows you to be at a profit because the value of them to the other players. So if you're hunting specific mobs based on the markup that will be provided by another player, you can be profitable. Here's some of the other part to that. If everybody goes to RT and starts hunting Vixens because Vixens are profitable, are they still profitable? No, because the market will be flooded by individuals doing that, and therefore, no more profit. That's what I'm saying on statistically, and it is based on statistically. Are there people that do pull profit in this game? Yes, but statistically, they're not going to happen. How is that not totally true? It is totally true. If everybody goes and hunts the same mob, then that will crash the profit of a Vixen gear. Because there is only so many Vixen gears that are consumed by the overwrite amount of people crafting the, what is it? It's a mining amp that you make with it. It doesn't protect the markup. That's not true. You show me where it says that in any of the data, because I've watched the price of those Vixen gears drop over the years I've played this game. So I know that's not true. And so it's just not true at all. I've watched the drop in the price of Vixen gears over years because it's so popular now. They're not worth as much as they were worth 5 years ago. And so I get what you're saying a little bit, but factually I've watched the markup drop on it. And so if that were true, the markup wouldn't have dropped on it. No, you should go for markup. So should you guys play for markup if that's how you want to play? Or you could play for fun. Well, your own experience is incorrect based on, like, history. Vixen gears used to be worth more money than they're worth now. Like, they've literally dropped in price. And so, I mean, is there still value in going for fixing gears? Absolutely. It's probably the best return that you get off of a mob that I could tell you for sure. Another really good mob that people find boring to hunt, and I hate to say that, is tab tabs. Tab tabs drop a really good amount of basic, what is it? Basic leather extractor. It's one of the basic leather things, and then tab hides have a reasonable markup sometimes, not all the time. Kind of sucks there. But tabs, the markup on them isn't horrible. It's reasonable. I do know that most of the people, so Deepwater, who plays this game, is a super good hunter. He hunts tabs and vixens. And he does the whole, hey, I'm going to swant tabs and stuff like that. He plays in a style that I find boring as crap, but he doesn't mind because he does it while he's chilling and just kind of smoking and stuff. And so he doesn't care. So he is profitable. Like, he's factually profitable. That profit is such a small percentage that, in all honesty, it's to each their own. You know, I'm not trying to diminish it, but for most people, the amount of money that you'll make grinding like that is less than a normal person will make in 15 minutes of work in the real world. And so I could spend my whole day grinding the crap out of some mob in which maybe you make, what, 20 PED in a day max? So $2. I mean, and that could happen. I'm not going to argue that if you grind the crap out of this game that you can't make $2 in a day or something like that. For most people, well, and I honestly, yeah, I've heard that looking for fruit is also profitable. But let's talk reality. If I sweat all day long or a good amount of the day, I might make let's say I could make 14K in sweat, right? Does everybody agree that 14,000 sweat in a day is a reasonably good amount? So let's say that I even found somebody that was willing. Oh, yeah, no, 6.5 PED for a K of fruit is a reasonable return, right? So, but reality is, how long is it going to take you to get that hour-wise? Or the 14K in sweat, that even if you got 2 PED per K in sweat, which most people don't really get 2K in PED per sweat, okay, guys? I'm just trying to put this in realistic ideas. So that's 28 PED. So $2.80 for the entirety of your day. You could consider that profitable. Ish. I mean, like, my day, my next best alternative. Do you guys know about the whole opportunity cost of an action? To where the action that or whatever you're buying isn't worth what it's worth, but it's actually, you have to minus off of whatever your next best opportunity is. So opportunity cost is significant. So if you can make $20 an hour and you spend the whole day sweating for $2.80, instead of just doing an hour of work, you've literally lost money. And I know that a lot of you guys don't want to acknowledge that that's a reality, but that's why I tell you guys, if you're playing Entropia Universe, the best thing you can do is play for fun. Like, I see way too many people spending their day doing miserable crap, um, which I don't want to be mean about it, but why would you spend 9 hours in miserable stuff for 1 hour of fun stuff that you can do? Or you could just work for 1 hour and probably get more game time out of it the way. And I'm not trying to... Yeah, no, and that's what I think that people should focus on. The idea that everybody, and I'm not saying everybody, I should take that back. The idea that so many people have communicated to me is they've got some grand scale mindset that they're going to make some kind of massive amount of money playing Entropia Universe. Entropia Universe as a company doesn't make a massive amount of money on itself. Like, they're just not that profitable. They make profits. That's a thank God, and I'm glad that they do, because that means that, you don't have to worry about them bellowing up and, like, deleting the game because they lost their business. But reality-wise, guys, I'm not trying to dash anybody's hopes necessarily, but I get way too many comments from people that are very upset that so many people promote this game as a, hey, you're going to make money, and a lot of people feel it's very scamish. It is. So that's what happens. Snow Ranger, you are a whole 100% correct. The people in this game promote the idea so often of the idea of profits in the game. So, as a community, we should promote the whole community of the game and the fun aspects of the game. The fun and the community of this game is the better part of it. If you're never going to make $100,000 a year playing Entropia Universe. And I'm not trying to be a jerk, but if the top 3 players in this game want to get a hold of me and let me know that they themselves make hundreds of thousands of dollars as the top players, feel free to. Messi, John Black Knight, any of you guys are welcome to get a hold of me. But for the most part, in fact, John Black Knight's on right now. So we probably could message him. I don't want to ambush him like that. Who's making $100,000 a year in this game? I would more than like to hear who's making $100,000 a year in this game. Because I definitely don't believe that they are. And I've talked to some of the higher ranked players, and they put money into the game all the time. In fact, I talked to a guy that his annual amount of money that he puts into the game is $40,000 a year. He's been doing it for years, and he still has to put money in the game. So I've looked at the profits for this game, and I don't think so. So this game as a whole is not the most profitable game, and the amount of money that gets puked through this game is actually not as impressive as you guys would think. I have multiple videos where I've reviewed the finances of Entropia Universe's parent company, and they're not making guaranteed. If there's a player making $100,000 a year in profit in this game, it would shock me. In fact, I've talked with multiple of the people that own large areas, and for the most part, they don't make very much money at all. Well, who would be relevant? Do you have an actual example of somebody making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year? Because a person can only make a percentage of the money that takes place within Entropia Universe. And so the amount of money that cycles in Entropia Universe is relevant. Nobody admits to it because it's... So, you believe that they're making tons of money but just keeping it secret from everybody? Is that what you believe? And I'm just curious. Okay. Well, on that, I would vastly say that it's not just that they don't admit it. It's that it literally, they won't say because they'd be full of poop. So let's see who would have the ability to make hundreds of thousands of dollars in this game. Messi, who I know puts money into the game. Let's see. John Black Knight, I'm pretty sure he still puts money into the game. One person that I do know does make some money in the game, but they've invested tons of money in the game, is Buzz Lightyear. And he does make money in the game, but not the amount that you're, not hundreds of thousands of dollars. So $4,000 a month. Jenna Star Mercury said she made $4,000 a month or more on what? Landownering? I mean, as a landowner for several $1,000s, you might make that. But I've talked to landowners that have let me know how little they do make. Okay, so trading is different. And did I literally at the very beginning of this video, I explained that people that are in the game exclusively trading and making money off of other players, they can make money. So there I won't disagree with you. I know of another trader that makes a good amount of money. Not hundreds of thousands of dollars, not even $100,000. No, landowners don't make much for the most part. So there are a couple landowners that have done pretty okay, but they're not making impressive amounts of money, especially for the amount that they've invested. Investment-wise, it's a mixed bag. And that varies so greatly from landowners that are absolutely not making crap to landowners that are actually doing reasonably well. Not well for the amount of money that they've made percentage-wise. You know what I mean? Because you've got to look at percentages. So on a good dividend-bearing stock, I can make 5 point something percent per year, easy as heck. With no work, with no having to take time out, with no opportunity costs of my time being spent on anything. And so, if I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to make $40,000 a year, that's a reasonable rate of return, right? We'd all consider that reasonable. Do I want examples of what? Of traders that are making money? Or of people that have made hundreds of thousands of dollars playing the game, not buying something and reselling it? Because if you want to give me... Never I bought a planet or bought a space station, then resold it. He didn't make the money playing the game. Again, have I explained more than once, if you're buying an asset and then reselling an asset in the game, that is not making money playing the game. Just so you guys know, I've explained that more than once, that you can make money off of trading. Never Die, if you've ever visited with him, actually did not consider a great decision, and will be more than glad to let you know that he owns Never Die Studios, in which that's where the majority of the money that he made has been made. So John Jacob Never Die is not a big, hey, I was really glad about my investment decisions in Entropia Universe. Now, are there some people that have made money buying and selling stuff in this game? Absolutely. John Jacob Never Die made his money, for the most part, in Never Die Studios, which is where his money comes from. And I do mine, yes. And I've done okay at it. I mean, I think mining is one of the places where you have the best chances of being able to play on a continuous basis and maybe breaking even on a consistency, especially people that use the mining programs in which, hold on. Yeah, normal. So I hear all kinds of people that claim to have made all kinds of money in this game, and then you look up their stuff, and for the most part, they haven't. But I get you. So a lot of people brag about how much money they make on all kinds of stuff, even when it's not true, is sadly the part. Now, Buzz Lightyear, let me see if he's on right now. We could ask him if he feels he's made good money on his returns. I feel Buzz Lightyear might have made some money in this game. Like, he's a nice guy if you guys have ever visited with him. Let's see if Buzz is on. Is it just Lightyear? Trying to see if Buzz Lightyear is still in my group of people. There's so many people in this game, right? Well, let's message Buzz and let's find out. I don't know if he's on or not. We could try to find out, right? I haven't done this Mel stuff and finding people on social for a long time. But if you want to believe that it's Eric. Hold on. I'm waiting to read this. It is Buzz Lightyear. RNG. Who is RNG? And I'm not going to argue that there's not a single person. Oh, well, I don't know about the argument he had with with MA. I'm going to just be honest. Okay, random number generator. Guys, I don't know enough about number generator, the character, to say either way. I'm saying that the vast amount of players I did visit with that are very high-ranking players, own a good amount of stuff, have made most of their PED in actually trading and stuff like that with other players, and do not make profits consistently hunting, mining, or crafting. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what RNG made money on. He could have made money on a lot of stuff. I did watch one of the top miners in this game. I watched, I think, 11 of his streams, in which, in pretty much every freaking one of them, he lost money. And he has the best equipment in the game. He did not come out ahead. He was using a mining app. And so, boom. Like, if the top miner using the mining program and with the best gear consistently lost PED on every run he did, live streaming, it would be shocking to me if everybody else is doing better than the guy that's one of the top miners in the game. And so, no, so that's true. So is there a statistical outlier out there? Yes. There probably is one dude out there that is doing great. There's probably one dude out there that quit the game because he was doing so horrible. Would that be normal? Yes. That's actually how statistics work. What I'm trying to tell you guys is statistically, in this game, you will lose money. You should play this game for the idea of playing and having fun. Not for the idea that you're going to one day be making hundreds of thousands of dollars on a game that barely crests a few $1,000,000 in total actual transactions per year. I mean, it just isn't something that's realistic. Are there some players that have invested tons of time and money into this game and are probably making a couple $1,000s per year? Yeah. In fact, I can't remember whose channel it is, but one of the guys that I used to follow a lot on YouTube, he has well over $40,000 or $50,000 in shares in the game. You know what I mean? And so he draws a reasonable amount of PED from his investments per month. He also plays a minimum, which then allows him to be profitable. He's profitable. If you guys are going to put $60,000 in financial assets into the game and play a minimum amount, you're probably going to be profitable too. So reality is, when he goes hunting, he still loses money. He still loses money when he goes mining. Does he make money off the game? Yes. But he could make actually a greater percentage of money off of investing in dividend-bearing stocks than he's making off of his payout-bearing Entropia Universe shares. And it's the same with me. I have shares in the Entropia Universe, not in the game on the stock market, because that would be ridiculous for me. I don't believe they have a very good return, and in all honesty, almost everybody that invested in their publicly traded stock lost their butts. If you don't believe me, look at their stock chart. If you went and invested right off of its launch, you lost your butt. Like, its stock is absolutely crap. And could it turn it around? Yes. It could become great stock. And if they do turn it around, this could be a great time to buy. There's not a substantial reason that they're turning it around at this point. And so, closer to when they switch over to the Unreal Engine, I am hoping super big time. Player profit is not MA profit. You're right. Players can only profit a portion of the money that transacts within the game. They're not making all of it, and for the most part, I promise to God, they're losing money. The average player, in fact, more than the average player, the majority of players are losing money in this game. I get that you do not want to believe it, but it's the truth. Like, it just is reality. I mean, I get the Do you know what the average markups in this game are? Have you guys looked at them? Because they're kind of sad. So, you're losing, and you're getting what percent return? What is your percent return? Have you actually tracked it? Because I guarantee you there's enough streamers and stuff like that that use the actual trackers. And for the most part, you can watch them and they lose money. And this is across the board. I've literally watched hundreds and hundreds of streams with people that are high-ranking hunters with their trackers on, and they're losing money. And so, the average markup for most items in this game is crap. It's below your percentage of return. So, this is partially true. Not going to argue that. Like, flat out, the percentage returns did change after nanocubes were introduced. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. No, I don't just mean stackables. I mean a lot of the stuff used to actually just have better percentage markups. And the amount of item drops, I don't feel is as solid as it should be. Like, that's one of the things that really frustrates me sometimes, is that a long time ago, it did feel like you got a super better amount of item dropping than you do now. Um, that's its own thing. I wasn't going to get into loot composition. Loot composition does affect, though, who is. Um, like loot composition's a giant thing. And that's its own world of stuff. That depends on the mobs you're hunting. That depends on your own skill rates and stuff like that. And so that is one of the places where a good player hunting the right mob can actually work to break even or pull into profits. And that also goes to, your vixens and stuff like that. If you have good loot composition and good looting skills, and you're hunting the right mobs, you can probably make a small amount of profit. That profit is super, what I would consider not impressive, but at least you're playing the game and you're having fun in theory. I hope you're having fun, and you know what I'm saying. But if you're having fun and you're hunting vixens all day and you're having a blast doing it and you're making money on it, coming out ahead, then that's awesome. I'm not going to bash that at all. I can hunt vixens for maybe an hour or so, and then I'm pretty freaking bored. It's profit nonetheless. I will totally agree with that. Yeah. It's profit nonetheless. That I'm going to agree with. Yeah. Super, super low profit. And if you introduce opportunity cost of going after that profit compared to anything else you could have done to profit, it's a loss. And if you want to look up opportunity cost, it is the next best thing. The next best thing would just be working 1 hour of work, earning your $20 to $30 an hour, and then going and actually just playing how you want to play. But I do get what you're saying. Small profit is profit. Oh, no, I'm not getting into the electricity thing. I've heard that too. Oh, and if you see it that way, and so if you're grinding and playing the game how you want and you're breaking even, you're winning the game. Okay? And I'm going to I'll agree with that 100%. If you're doing something that's miserable and you're doing it for 9 to 10 hours a day in order to make $2, you're not winning. So if you're even spending money in the game and you're having a blast and you're hanging out with friends and stuff like that, you're winning. Okay? So winning doesn't have to always involve profits. And for the most part, it's the worst way to approach this game is obsessing on profits instead of just obsessing on having a fun time playing a game and enjoying yourself, visiting with people. I always tell people the community is the most important part of this game. And I see all kinds of people that they literally don't think that that's a valued part at all. Well, that's them. In all honesty, we're all going to be different, guys. And so things that are important to me in this game don't have to be absolutely important to you. Okay? But people that, I've known people that actually have let me know they actually don't like the game, but they're so close to hitting the imaginary point in their mind to where they're going to be profitable. And in my mind, it is kind of a situation of, why would you play the game if you don't like it? I think that that's crazy. And I think that chasing profits is not the best way. I think if you figure out how to make profit while you're having fun, that's awesome. Okay? And I will 100% back and support that if you're finding a profitable thing that you can do while having fun in this game, you are winning. But the people that are playing in a way that's miserable so that they can make $2, or the other one where they've just like keep on putting more and more money in and more money because one day they're going to make profits. Statistically, you're not. I mean, like, maybe you are the one that can actually break the statistics, okay? Maybe you are. And I hope to God you are the one that breaks the statistics for your own sake, because that's cool. I mean, I'd like to be the one that breaks the statistics too, right? I think we'd all like to do that. Oh yeah, no, new players have a horrible experience. So I don't agree with how it's set up, and I believe that new players, I believe that that's one of the reasons that they have so bad of retention. So I wish they'd rebalance loot, and I wish they'd rebalance crafting vastly. So crafting, when you have a 95% success rate, you should actually succeed 95%. Not, hey, I'm going to still fail most of the time, but once in a great while I'll get a success. But by getting a near success, we consider that a success. That crap is absolute junk. Like, I don't... Hey, thank you very much, Arc Trooper. I hope you're kicking butt. I absolutely don't agree with how it's set up. I believe that it's disproportionately a negative experience for new players. And I believe new players are the future of this game. On average, players don't play this game forever. And the statistics on it are horrible right now. In fact, the last time we looked at the financials, we also looked at sites that basically rate the game, social media, and other stuff. Oh, so I'm good anyway. I'm going to make money no matter what playing this game off of YouTube views and stuff like that. I'm monetized on Twitch. I'm monetized on YouTube. For me, it doesn't affect me the same. On top of that, I do have... deeds and stuff like that and a shop, and I do keep my play to a minimal controllable amount where I don't put out a ton of money. And so me, I don't make money when I go hunting, mining, and I do make money off of crafting because I only craft specific things and I'm a reasonably high rate crafter. It's a mixed bag, you guys. And I'll just say, but I don't make thousands of dollars off of that, even though I make thousands of dollars off of my YouTube. My YouTube, the majority of what makes money on my YouTube is nothing to do with Entropia. Like, one of my top videos is a hair dye video. One of my top other videos is me showing people how to inscribe a headstone and stuff like that. And so normal real world stuff makes me more money on YouTube than most of my Entropia combined. And I have like 1,600 Entropia videos or some crap like that. I have a ridiculous amount. It's more than I'd want to admit to almost. Like, I would have to check. I don't want to say 1,600 because that might be exaggeratory. I have a lot. Well over 600. Less than 2,000. But the ones that make money are not the ones that are Entropia Universe. No. And that's the thing. Entropia Universe is not popular. I play it because I like the game myself. I stream it because I love the community. There is an absolute difference than the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's sad. We need to figure out a way to keep the new players in the game and make their experience a better experience. I don't work for the company, though, you guys. So I don't have the ability to do anything but to, like, luckily they watch my videos, right? And so, like, they'll see all this stuff, they'll see what's being said, maybe it'll influence them. But legitimately, if they could actually make the player experience not only better for the traditional already playing people, but for the new person that just started, or for the people that just got their friends to start the game, it would super help them. The other thing that would help them is their social media presence sucks. So there's a site that keeps track of every game's social media presence and gives them a score based on basically chatter and stuff like that. And Entropia Universe has a overall low score on that. Now, I don't know if it's, I don't know why. I'm not going to judge them too much on that. But I do think that they should do better on that. But the making the experience better for new people, that would be my 100% where I think that they actually should focus. I don't believe that they're doing themselves justice by having so many people start the game and quit with a bad taste in their mouth. Hold on, I'm trying to catch up on reading all this stuff. Yeah, no, Zeus, I agree. If they had 1 million players start tomorrow, so I don't want to call them incompetent. I would do things different than how they do it, for sure. I don't feel that they're doing justice to the game, you guys. I don't feel that they are. I think that they could loosen up the percentage of returns for a lot more things. I think that they could focus on ways to advance the player experience a ton more. Have better marketing. Their marketing's horrible, but you're right on that. The I get you, and you have. So I'm not disagreeing with you. I just don't want to be just going negativity. So I wasn't doing this video or this stream to just be negative and just be bashing the crap out of Mindark. I absolutely have the highest hopes that they will one day rally. They will make this game an amazing game across the board for the majority of players. They'll increase retention. They'll get their Unreal 5 stuff together. And that all of us can sit here and be like, nah, I'm a Entropia Universe player. I'm playing the greatest game there is. And it has some ring of truth. At this point, I consider that the community in this game is actually better than the game itself. And I'm glad that the community's so good, but it would be nice if it was kind of a tie to where, like, it's a great game with a great community. At this point, it's a game which is fun to play, but has an amazing community. You get me? Let me see about this. So when I looked, the amount of new deposits is super important for them. And that is the majority of the money they get is through depositing players. They're very dependent on new deposits. And that's the other reason you pretty much have to kind of have a degree of losses. I absolutely think that they could do fine in this game, though, with a lower percentage of loss on the player's count. Like, I don't have I haven't crunched the numbers on it to a level to where I could tell you where their break-even point could be. And so I don't want to necessarily say it. But I will tell you that they're not profitable by the same level that you would want them to be. Yes. Yes, they do. They have a reserve of money. And so in their financials, they call it a specific term, and I can't remember what it is. But in my video where we go over the financials, they actually have the amount of money that they have to have in reserve for the amount of stuff in your storage, basically, in case you were to sell everything out of your storage all of a sudden and decide to quit playing. And so they actually know all of that stuff. They know they've basically got it, and it should be. But all the stuff that's in your storage that you could go and liquidate and sell and then ship out is a liability for them. So in their financials, they have that liability. They know the number, and they absolutely, in theory, have it covered. I mean, in their stuff, it shows that they have it covered. And I believe that their financials are appropriate because they're a publicly traded stock. And because if they were lying on their financials, they would look better than they do. And they're not the most impressive. You know what I mean? So the reality is, though, if you go to chip out, they get to take 10%, don't they? And so, like, right off the bat, even if you profited and thought you were going to chip out with that profits, your profits need to be above 10% above, you know what I'm saying? So, like, if you transfer money out of this game, they take a portion. Plus, you're going to probably be charged bank fees and stuff like that. And so, reality-wise, they're probably financially okay. Oh, okay, and that's a reasonable. You're right there. They do also have to pay fees and stuff like that, so it's probably less than I'm thinking. So I won't disagree with that, and I haven't delved into pulling money out of this game to the level to be giving too much of an opinion on it. I would have to look into that as a separate thing. I do have enough freed up money in this game that I could do a withdrawal, but I wouldn't want to withdraw money and take a percentage loss just to then end up having to deposit money and take a percentage loss. I can't remember. I mean, I've looked at the financials, but I would have to look and remember. It's been months since I looked at their financials. Oh, I don't think the auction fees go back into the thing, but we'd have to ask them. That's a great question, though, to ask. Do we have somebody? Sometimes we have a person in chat. Hey, is Socrates in chat today? Okay, well, I'll look into it. Sometimes Socrates watches and is in chat. And so I was kind of hoping maybe he was. Let's see if Socrates is over here. Let me find out. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, well, you know, and I'm not against them doing stuff like that. I mean, if they're doing things with the money to develop the game, that's a good thing. Where do you think we could find an MA person? Socrates is normally right there. Do you guys know a location where one of the MA people is right now? Let's check Boreas. We can try to find out. Oh, that's a great question. I don't know. Can we ask the new AI, and where would we ask it? I haven't messed with the AI, guys. This is. Oh, I could ask my AI. Hold on one second, guys. We're waiting. I'm finding out right now. Okay. Says number one is player deposits. Number two is transaction fees. Number three is virtual land sales and development. Number four is other microtransactions, which I don't know what that would be. And then their fifth highest source of income is planetary partners and collaborations that they do to generate income. And so player deposits are listed as the highest thing at this point. And so they need you to deposit new money to make the money that they're making. Which doesn't shock me. I'm going to just be honest. Yeah, it's okay. I'm not upset about that. That's not a big deal. Guys, depositing money, if this is the game that you like playing and that you enjoy doing, shouldn't be a negative all the way. If you don't have the money, don't deposit the money. If you're depositing the money, just be willing to understand that you're wanting to spend that money on a game you're enjoying. If you're making profits in the game, the more power to you. That should slow down how much you should have to deposit. You shouldn't be depositing all the time. I think we're all happy. They do have to hold a reserve. We covered that in their financials. Guys, I'll pull their financials for you. That's what we'll do right now. I pulled their financials multiple times. I don't know. These guys are... I could resurrect that guy. We're not going to. Yeah, so they have the reserved money in their financials. Hold on one second. I just wanted to get back up here. I'm going to pull Entropia Universe's... I do a stream on this every little bit, you guys, so that we can... So hold on one second. I'll make it where you guys can see what I'm seeing, so that you guys can know what's going on, and then we'll be able to discuss it. I'm not doing a full hey on it today, because usually I do a whole report on financials when we do a report. I don't want to spend the whole day doing this, so we'll do a quick look at their financials. So this is on MindArc Investor Relations. This is their second quarter report, which I have a video on this if you guys want to watch it. So we've already reviewed this one. By the way, when their new report comes out, I will gladly do another financial delve in on their newest stuff, because I absolutely think that it's important in a game like this for us to kind of have a clue of how our game's doing, right? Because we invest a ton of time into this game, and in all honesty, a lot of us have a lot of money invested. Yeah, so you guys are right. Boy, this is taking forever to load this financial. I'm sorry it's taken so long. I wish it wasn't. Who knew that pulling their, usually this thing pops up fast. Let's drink some coffee while we're waiting for the financial report to pull up. By the way, we're only looking at like the quick stuff. We're not gonna, the whole report takes too long to delve into today. That's usually its own stream. When the new report comes out, I will go over it just so you guys know. Holy crap, this is loading as slow as it's ever. It never. No, they know I do a financial report on them all the time. So I think I have maybe 3 so far that we've done whole streams where like their new report comes out, and so I do a report on them. Socrates watched the last one, I think is who it was, and I mean, like, they know, and I'm okay with them knowing. I don't bash them. I have disagreed, and I've had concerns about things in the past where I don't think that they're doing the greatest job always. So they're not always profitable, actually. They're actually not. So I've reviewed their finances before where they're not profitable. They actually lose money sometimes. They were profitable on the last report for sure. But the report before that, they actually took a loss. Just so you guys know. So they might be, we'll find out on the next one. But they do, I get feedback on when I do a review of their finances. Like reasonable feedback, not rude feedback, you guys. And I try to keep my review of their stuff reasonable, but they're not always profitable. And if you guys thought they were, it's not true. I've pulled their finances before, and they were at a loss more than once. And so, is it a sustainable loss? Not if it happened every time, because nobody goes and does business to lose money. But this last report was good. And so this report we're pulling right now, I have a video already reviewing this. It is an actual profitable report. Yes, Twin was very profitable for him. Absolutely. Twin was. Okay, so see, they're all like boom, boom. They're going to pull it up. And so we'll get down into their actual stuff, but they don't make a lot of money. Now, I also want to point out that this is in K-secs, so these are in thousands of secs, which are the money that they use. So if you're converting this to dollars, it's basically 1/10 of a dollar. So these are basically in PEDs. It actually makes it super convenient. So the amount that they reserve for player-based economy, and they talk about microtransactions, deed sales, and stuff like that in here. This guy is the acting guy. I don't know anything about him, so I won't say. They go over the financials. So where we're looking at, and this is why I was saying they don't make tons and tons of money. Now this is in K-sec, so this is a million, but then you have to take it down by one. So this is really 400 and something thousand, which is good. That's profitable. You can see where they took a loss right here. This was down. This is down. So basically every other one has been hit and miss on if they're profitable. That's not a big deal. That's not shocking, by the way. So we need to get down into their stuff to where we can find what I was talking about with the not in their statement of cash flows. Balance sheets, yeah. So we're looking at assets and liabilities. Hold on. They use a weird term for the stuff you guys have. But basically, there's a liability that's attached. Oh, they might not have it broke down out in this. So in one of their discussions, they do talk about player holdings. Unconsumed user holdings. That's what they call it. So all the stuff we all have, right, is a liability. So here's what it's called. Unconsumed user holdings in quarter two, which is the stuff in your account that's in your inventory and stuff like that. And they'll go over it. All users in Entropia Universe have an in-game account where cash in the form of virtual in-game currency, PED, or digital items are placed. The sum of these funds and digital items is a user's unconsumed user holdings. Unconsumed user holdings have somewhat decreased during the second quarter from 141.7 million PED, which literally, you know, that's $14 million worth of random crap sitting in inventories or in your account in some form, right? A decrease of 1.1 million PED. The total amount decreased slightly more in SEK as the SEK to dollar exchange rate has increased from 10.66. I was being favorable to them and I said it's 1/10, but like we could, if you guys want to do the math and add that 10.66 in there, go ahead. I'm not going to bother. I'm okay with just moving it over a decimal point. But they do have, and they do keep track of the unconsumed user stuff. They do consider it a liability. And so here it is. As of June 30th, 2024, the total liabilities for unconsumed user holdings amounted to 140.5 million PED. So $14 million basically in cash is setting in your inventories. So they absolutely do know exactly how much they're on the line for if we all cashed out all of our stuff, which is never going to happen, by the way. You guys do realize that even if it was the day before the game closing down, there would be somebody that wouldn't cash out their stuff. And so I believe that they're being very responsible with this part. Oh, now that could be true. I didn't mean it yours specifically. No, a BP 130 is it's stuff in your inventory. I wasn't meaning it as a mean. Oh no, they do admit that. So, but they don't foresee that happening. So somewhere in one of their financial forms at one point, they knew the exact amount of people that pull stuff. So see, net sales, they track all this stuff. You guys, I'm going to pull this. I'm going to link it for you guys. Because if you guys want to review the finances, and I absolutely think that this is super a good thing for players to do. To be aware. I don't know why I don't do this on other games. I probably would do real well. But if you guys want to take your time and personally scour through this, you're more than welcome to. They would be in trouble if we all decided to cash out at once. The reality is that they do play based on statistics just like everybody else. And the reality of it is there's only going to be a percentage of the stuff in inventories that's liquidated and cashed out on any given day. And they for sure can cover that. We all feel that that's true, right? I hope we're at least on the same page on that. Where we're all like, nah, if they wanted to cover what they currently have as a statistical average. Yeah, no, I feel that to the most part. I focus more on my own finances than theirs. I just like to do a stream, at least when they pull out their finances, and look over it at least a couple times a year. So the next time they'll pull their quarterly finances, I 100% will do a full day stream. Well, not a full day, like a 2-hour stream in which we'll review their finances. It's not the most exciting stream, and in fact, I get some angry feedback over it sometimes, which I kind of am shocked at. But reality is, I like looking at their finances. Oh my God, a full day stream would be so rough for me, you guys. Can I tell you, I did a 12-hour stream challenge once on a different game. And after 6 hours, it was miserable. Yeah, some people don't appreciate it at all. Like, it kind of shocked me, but no, some people literally got mad because I was going through their financials. And it wasn't people from Entropia. It was people, like, just mad. Honestly, they could have just been unhappy in their own life and just venting at me too. So I didn't take it personal. But they were very unhappy with me going over the financials with my stream and didn't appreciate it. And I'm okay with that because I can't please everyone all the time. Like, right? None of us are going to make everyone happy, and not everybody's going to agree with me, okay? And some of the stuff I say doesn't apply to the whole universe, okay? So when I say you're not going to make money in Entropia Universe, out of the thousands of players that play this game, somebody is going to let me know, oh, I do make money in Entropia Universe. I'm sorry for being wrong on that specific case. Absolutely, that's what's going to happen sometimes. I'm talking based on a large-scale data sample of the majority of people will not. Will they have fun? I hope so. I like to just try to do what I'm going to do and please the people it pleases and hope that that's as many people as possible, but I don't control that. And I'm not going to try to control that. And so I have to enjoy what I'm doing. Just like if you guys are watching somebody, you want to enjoy what you're watching. And so if it's not what you like to watch, just honestly don't watch it. I mean, I love all of you guys watching. I think it's awesome that I do get so many views from people. But I'm not under some fake idea that ever anything I will do will please everyone. Like, in fact, it's such a mixed bag that, you know, I'm okay with it. So real quick, because I have to go to a yoga class in a few minutes, and I have to go change because obviously this isn't yoga clothes. I'm going to kill this guy, and then we're going to find somebody that we can raid over to. That ought to be fun. By the way, if you guys have never done yoga, freaking awesomely fun, and it's super healthy for you. Like, next level healthy for you. I encourage people to do things like that are healthy. Oh, I found somebody we can raid over to right that fast. That's awesomeness. I like it when we find somebody so quick. They're chilling. They'll have music on. That'll be awesome. I do want to thank you guys for just being amazing, hanging out, and I do hope that you do find profits where you do find them. I hope you're doing kick butt stuff in your own personal life. It's very important to do kick butt stuff. And since we're coming into a new year soon, I hope you're planning something big and bodacious that you're going to knock out. I'm right now doing the countdown to switch over for a raid, and we're going to raid over. Thank you guys very much. Peace and very best wishes.